15 1-minute habits that will help you be productive, be healthy, and stay mindful throughout your day. That's what we're going to be discussing in today's video. Let's get started. Hey folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As I said, today I'm going to be discussing about 15 life-changing habits that I implement on a day-to-day basis to stay productive, to stay mindful, to stay happy and stay healthy, right? And these are very, very small habits. So I'm not going to be speaking about, you restricting your calorie intake to 2000 or 1500 calories or, running these half marathons and things like that. These are small things, and if you're someone who is just getting started with habits and are looking for some instant gratification or some gratification around wanting to continue with these habits before achieving bigger things, this video is perfect for you. Even otherwise, I would encourage you to just hang around a bit, toggle around sections to see, pick up the habits that you find are useful. And how did I arrive at these? I read like a ton of books, heard a couple of podcasts, and I've experimented with these habits over the last 3-4 years. And then I've kind of compiled this list based on what gives me happiness, and all the good stuff. And these are some recommendations that I gave to my friends and family, and they found it really useful. So I thought, okay, why not enlist them into a video? So the first thing is getting things done at a personal level, getting things done at work, relationships, health, finance, and all the others, right? So we're going to be covering under all these sections. So feel free to toggle around, as I said at the start. So first, getting things done. Pair something that you need to do with something that you want to do, right? So again, I'm not a big fan of multitasking, but this is a small 1-minute habit that has helped me save a ton of time. So let me explain this habit. So I love watching Breaking Bad, right? And there are days where we have done the laundry, but it's just lying around and we have to fold these clothes and keep it in our wardrobe. Or there are days where I have to make a few payments and things like that. So what, me and my wife end up doing is, watch a favorite series of ours and then use these 2-3 minute gaps to get these operational things done, right? So we pair something that we need to do with something that we want to do. So there are days where we watch Breaking Bad and fold my clothes. There are days where we listen to our favorite music and clean our wardrobe. Or there are days, we put on our favorite show and clean our living room and things like that. So we usually pair something that we need to do with something that we want to do, and it especially works like magic with cleaning related tasks. Tip number 2, get one-touch activities done at one go. This has been a big life changer. So what do I mean by one-touch activities, right? So one-touch activities are things that you do once and 9 out of 10 times they'll be done. So a few examples of one-touch activities are, let's say bill payments, right? So you do it once, you need not worry about it for the next 1 month. Or replying to all your emails, right? So this is a one-touch activity. Yes, you are going to receive a response, but you get it done once without much distractions. You're never going to be getting back. For example, another one-touch activity is putting a grocery list, right? So these are one-touch activities that seem like it might take a lot of time, but in reality takes less than 2 or 3 minutes to get it done. So what we have tried and made is a list of one-touch activities like this. We have like bill payments, grocery, vegetable shopping, fruit shopping, and things like that, and we try and get it done on the evening of Sunday. So we dedicate like around 20-30 minutes, and most of our week is sorted with respect to all the ordering that we need to do. So try these, probably in your life you could make a list of these one-touch activities and then plan to get them done at one go. Not done properly, you're going to end up spending a lot of time on these things. Now moving on to the second section, which is getting things done at work. Right? So the first step there is to listen to a focused music or an unfamiliar music, right? So for example, I come from India, so by default when I listen to a music that I know very well, I end up singing very along with the music, or I get randomly distracted to the visuals of that music, or I think about the scene in which this song comes in, and all those sort of things. And what happens, I pop onto the YouTube, and then I end up watching a whole series of videos through that rabbit hole. So rather, what I've started very actively doing is, yes, I do still listen to music, but I put some very random artists that I don't know, probably Afro beats on one day, prog rock on one day, jazz on one day, and mind you, these are music that I've never heard before, right? So most of these musics are very unfamiliar to me, and I end up listening to them. And this ensures that I'm focused on the work while music is on the background. Few people listen to the cafe sound, or few people listen to water sounds and things like that, whatever floats your boat, but ensure that you're listening to a music that's not familiar to you. So that's the first tip. Second one, batch similar kind of work together, right? So this has been a game changer for me at work. So what I do is, in the first 2 hours of the day, I use like 30 minutes to clear all my emails, 30 minutes to clear all my Slack messages, and then spend like 15 to 20 minutes to schedule messages or reply to all the other messages on LinkedIn, all other social media that I've got, and then get to work, right? So I have 2 hours of deep work where I do very similar kind of work. I pick up one task and try to do it for 2 hours, and then after that I have meetings for good 2-3 hours. So what I end up doing, I schedule my work day in a way that I have similar kinds of tasks batched throughout the day. So what does it help me do? I don't have to do a lot of context switching. So when I'm replying to emails, I'm not thinking about the deep work. When I'm doing the deep work, I'm not thinking about the meetings that are upcoming. So this is the second tip. Third thing, and surprisingly, I was shocked at how short duration it takes, is setting the agenda for the day. So this is something that I read at Make Time, and over practicing this for 1.5 years, what I've started to realize is setting your agenda at the start of the week or at the start of the day takes probably less than 2 or 3 minutes, and it sets you up for the whole day. It anchors you to get things done. So I am never confused about, okay, what am I going to attack in my day? So I know that I have to reply to messages, and I have the highlight of the day set, and I get to working on them immediately. So set your agenda for the week, and so for your week, probably I prefer doing it on Sunday evenings. It's great if you could do it on Monday mornings. So I set my agenda for the week on Sunday evening, which takes like 2 or 3 minutes at this point of time, and I set the agenda for each day on Monday mornings, which takes like probably 2 minutes for me now, because the Monday agenda branches out from the Sunday agenda that I have already set. Now we are moving on to the third section, which is relationships, right? So relationships, form a major part of our lives, and because I strongly believe that a strong relationship, be it with family and friends, anchors you to stay grounded and ensures that you having a good support system socially, ensures that you're at a much better state emotionally as well. So I place a paramount importance to how I treat relationships, and the following 1-minute habits have ensured that I, one, enjoyed maintaining these relationships, and two, have led to a lot of happiness in my life. So the 2 1-minute habits are sending gratitude immediately, right? So how often have you met a friend, you had conversations with them, you felt very refreshed, or you have a random memory of a friend, from a long lost college friend or a school friend, where you think about them, you had like good memories with them, and then you move on to the next thing, right? So here is what I do. I send gratitude to them immediately. So let us say I remember a friend from my school days, and I try to find, if I have the number, great, I just text them saying, hey, what, today I was thinking about, the fun times that we had at this ice cream parlor, or when we were bicycling together to our school and things like that, and I drop like a very non-creepy note about a genuine memory that made me happy at that moment, right? And then 9 out of 10 times all those people have gotten back, and have ensured that we have rekindled that friendship. Because most often than not, what happens is we have these memories and we shy away from kind of sharing it with people. You will be surprised, friends, about sending these 1-minute texts, or probably typing those texts is going to take you like a minute or two. The amount of response and the amount of relationships you will rekindle, honestly, you will be very, very, very surprised. So I do the same by texting people, or if I feel like some conversation. So let's say I want to speak about a recent incident. So I was stuck about a decision at work, and there was this friend of mine from 3-4 years back who gave like a perspective, right? I didn't use it all along, but 4 years down the line I ended up using it. I dropped that friend a thank you note, and he ended up calling me. We chatted for like good 45 minutes to an hour, and then it was so good. And the next time I'm going to his city, I'm gonna end up meeting him. So this is like a friendship that is rekindled, and it brings so much joy, friends. So I trust you to go, after watching this video, to go message a friend that you want to thank, or share your gratitude with. The second thing that has helped me immensely with relationships is resisting the urge to respond quickly, especially when I'm high on emotions, right? When I say high on emotions, it doesn't mean I'm angry or sad. It also means I'm happy or ecstatic. I resist the urge to reply quickly, only because I say things, or I might end up saying things that I really don't mean, or I end up doing things that I might not really mean. So I let go through that, I let myself go through that emotion. So let's say I'm really happy if some friends calls me, I'm not gonna tell them that, hey, you know what, let's do this, let's do that. I take in all the appreciation, I take in all the glory, and take in all the information they have to tell me. Yes, I share my happiness with them, but I don't make any big decisions when I'm high on emotions, right? So whenever I'm high on emotions, or whenever I feel like I'm going towards a decision, I tell myself, you know what, let's sleep over it and take a decision tomorrow. And this 1 minute self-talk has helped me avoid a lot of trap, friends. So and this helps especially when you're in a conversation with your spouse or your partner or your friends. Never take or stop the urge to take decisions when you're high on emotions, whatever kind of emotions that might be. With that, we're moving to the next big section, which is the health. My favorite bit, because a lot of times health and habits is equated to 60-minute exercises, 45-minute exercises, 90-minute stuff. Yes, those are very, very, very important. I'm not gonna say, hey, do these 1 minute things and you'll be sorted. I'm no health expert, but these are 1 minute exercises that have helped me kind of feel better about myself from a physical front, right? So what are those? These 1 minute stretches, right? So throughout the day, I do a lot of these 1 minute stretches where I'm rotating my neck. Some days I'm just rotating my arms. I do a lot of these standing meetings. I do some hip flexor stretches. At the end of the day, I kind of just get into a child's pose and do like a 1 minute deep inhales and deep exhales. These stuff have ensured that, because I am on a desk job, a lot of my muscles tend to be very, very, very tight, which leads to a lot of injury when I'm training with weights. So what I've ensured to do is to take these 1 minute stretches, at least, across the day, take 5 1 minute breaks across the day to stretch one muscle or the other. And I wouldn't say that, it has transformed my flexibility or anything, but it's put me at a much, much, much better shape than what I was like 2 years ago, right? Because small stretches like these do add up over time. Right? So the next bit is taking a water break or a standing break every 30 minutes. So if you're someone who has a smartwatch, yes, your smartwatch is going to remind you. If not, what I usually tend to do is, my attention span is limited to, let's say, 30 to 40 minutes. At the end of 40 minutes, I go take a water break, or I just go check my phone at times, or I kind of just scribble, or I just convert my sitting desk into a standing desk. I do some sort of activity to ensure that I am moving and not just sitting in the desk for the whole day, right? And how has it helped me? Probably I'm not the best person to quantify, but it has just ensured that I'm not very bored, right? So moving on to the third one, which is 1 minute breath work, right? So this is something that I listened to in Andrew Huberman's podcast, whether when you take long inhales and short exhales, you tend to focus more. And when you take like short inhales and big exhales, you tend to relax. Again, this is not me saying it. I listened to it on Andrew Huberman's podcast. Probably I'll drop a link to that on our comments. So I started following this in multiple sections during my day, wherein after the stretch, depending on whether I want to focus more or relax a bit, I do these 1 minute breath works to ensure that I feel a bit more focused or a bit more relaxed, depending on the part of the day. So again, I am no medical expert. Probably I'll link that video there. So do it with some amount of discretion or based on what your physician says. The next section that we're going to be moving to is the finance bit, right? So what are the 1 minute habits that have helped me automate my finances? So first thing, this is probably not 1 minute, but one time activity, right? Probably it should go in the one touch activity. So what I did is automate most of my savings, right? So we have like a few stocks or a few ETFs or a few mutual funds or whatever, and I try and automated it on, probably I did it like 2-3 years back. I spent like good 30-40 minutes setting up all these connections between my trading account, between my savings account, between all the accounts and my salary account, to ensure that everything runs smoothly and I don't have to take a decision month on month, right? So try and automate as many things as possible from the finance front, right? So that is the first 1 minute habit. The second 1 minute habit is not buying anything out of emotion or not buying anything impulsively, right? And how do I do it? So I have a two filter rule, right? So the first filter is, can I afford 2 items of it? So let's say I want a new headphones, or I want a new phone, or I want a new pair of shoes, or new pair of dresses and things like that. I just multiply the price of that item into 2 and see, hey, am I going to buy it? All right. If I'm able to afford it, yes, it has passed the first filter test. The second filter test that I have is, do I really need it now? Like, I ask that question every single time, and probably because I've done it so many times, it doesn't take more than a minute for me. So so if it passes yes and yes, I don't immediately buy it. I wait for a week to see if either of these yes changes to a no. After a week, probably I'm at a different emotional state, probably my needs have changed, and then I'll evaluate again. I'll ask these 2 questions again. If the answer is no, I remove it from my cart or save it for later and then chill, right? So this 1 minute decision making has ensured that I don't do a lot of these impulsive purchases and stay on track with my finances. And the last and final bit is kind of random. I didn't know where to fit them in, so I've added it under others, right? So what are those? 1, templatize everything, right? So for example, I have a very fixed way of writing these YouTube scripts on Notion. So I have the templates where I key in the title. If I have an inspiration video that I want to go after, that goes in, and I have a very set way of writing scripts. Similarly, I have a very set way in which I manage my projects at work, I manage my projects at home and things like that. And I try to templatize how I take decisions to most common scenarios, right? So I know what are the like 70% of my week is already fixed. Yes, I'm not gonna say that, hey, I don't leave any room for flexibility, but I try to templatize a lot of things so that I'm not I'm not very confused, because by nature I'm a very confused person. So if there is a template, I'm not going to worry much about it, right? So 1, templatize everything. Second one, hire people or hire tools to get your things done, because the biggest mistake people do is, instead of hiring this person or having this tool, I might as well do it myself. But trust me friends, you will end up saving a lot more time with an expert doing your job, or a tool automating a lot of things that you do. So this is the second thing. And the third thing is having a distraction notepad, and this has been a game changer. I usually have one in my desk. Unfortunately, I don't know where I kept it, but what happens is, more often than not, when you're doing work or when you're shooting YouTube videos or when I'm writing script, a lot of times these thoughts come up, right? Oh, what happened to that plan? Oh my god, okay, I had to purchase something. Oh my god, okay, I didn't respond to my friend who was here. So all these things I noted down in my distraction notepad, and so that I'm not going back to pick my phone or call any person or do something that distracts me from what I'm doing at this point of time. So what I end up doing is noting all of them down, and once my work day is finished, or once what I'm doing is done, I go back and then tick these off one by one. Let's say I forgot to call someone, I pick up the phone and call someone. If I forgot to order something, I do that, and stuff like that. So have a distraction notepad to note down your distractions, and you'll be surprised with time your distractions will start coming down because you're noting them. So that wraps up the 15 1-minute habits. I know it was a long video, but I love these habits that help me stay healthy, stay more productive, and stay more mindful. So if you enjoyed watching this video, do let me know, and until I see you in the next video, this is Praveen Ramesh signing off.